Time to wake up. It's Saturday morning. Find some milk and cereal. Grab a bowl and spoon. No, a bigger spoon. Head to the living room and take a seat on the floor while Joseph and Chris present to you Saturday Morning Cartoon!
Hello everybody, welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoon Boom! This is your regular Saturday morning sun, popped on the floor, big old sugar cereal, and time for cartoons, both old and new. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And this morning we watched Winx Club.
Did we really? I want to just assume that this was a bad dream that I woke up from after eating, way too much pizza on Friday night. And it gave me these weird dreams about fairies and just horrible voice acting and animation.
No, this was absolutely real.
Oh God, this happened?
It's been happening since 2004.
Oh no, this is the longest nightmare of all time.
Yeah, it's a never-ending nightmare. Who suggested this to us?
This was suggested by Tommy. Thanks, Tommy. Thank you so much.
No thanks, Tommy. You can take it back. Ugh.
Take it back wherever you found it and put it away.
Yeah. So the show Winx Club aired from 2004 to present. Basically, it's still going in some ways.
And how?
There are spin-offs of it. There are movies. This thing is so popular, and after watching just these 3 episodes of it, I don't understand why. Like, I'd kind of get why maybe a couple little girls would like it because of the idea of it, but it's just presented so poorly. There's so many better shows you could watch instead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna really quick help those little girls out. Hey, go watch Sailor Moon. You're welcome.
Yeah.
This fixed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Totally Spies.
Go watch anything else. Go watch Adventure Time. Go watch Steven Universe. There are so many quality programs out there for kids that you have no excuse. There's no reason to watch this show, ever.
Yeah.
So don't do it.
Don't.
And if you're doing it,
stop
right now.
Turn it off right now.
Yeah, you better not be watching it while we're talking about it, or else.
Go to your room.
Ugh. So this is created and developed by, I don't even know how to say this name, Eugenio Straffi. It's an Italian product that was brought over to the U.S., so there's a lot of Italian things that are going to be mentioned. Like, it's produced by Rainbow SRL and Ray Fiction. Ran so far for 8 seasons, 182 episodes on the Rai 2 network and the Rai Gulp network in Italy, Cartoon Network, CW for Kids, Nickelodeon, and Nick Jr. in the U.S. For source synopsis, this was written by Stuart Brewer, but also I paraphrased a little bit because he did not write it well. In a magical universe, fairies and witches begin fighting in the name of good versus evil. At a magic school, 5 teenage girls are selected to defend the universe with their magic.
Yeah, it sounds like, a typical plot. It sounds like it could have some promise.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be okay.
Yeah. So one thing that confuses me here, and maybe you can help me clear this up. So this is an Italian product, and most things from like Italy, like Italian products are usually considered pretty fine. Like you've got, fine Italian leather or fine Italian dining. Was this show a show that you would call fine?
On the scale of pizza to Italian dressing, I don't like Italian dressing really.
Italian dressing's not bad. Okay, how about Italian dressing on a salad made of dog vomit?
No, how about Italian dressing that you've just let sit out for far too long and it's gone bad?
Okay.
I would rather eat that, the entire bottle of that, than watch this show ever again.
Are there flies in the bottle because it's been sitting out so long?
Even the flies are repulsed by it, and so no.
Okay.
No.
So it's bad. Okay. And you would still rather just chug that bottle and watch this show.
I'd ask for seconds before I watch the show again.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm starting to get where you're going.
Just to give you a little hint as to how we feel about this show, how I feel about this show anyway, from the start.
Just a hint, though.
Just a hint. So who are some of the actors who played in this show?
That's a loaded question, Joseph.
Hold on. Before you even say that, are you saying that because they barely even acted in it?
Well, some of them are. There are a couple decent actresses in this thing, and I don't know. They must not have been in any of the episodes that we watched. Also, I say that too because not like a single character kept their voice actor. Pretty much, I think every season they were replaced. At least it feels that way looking at this list. So I'm just going to go through the main characters because there's like 80 characters of this show. The character Bloom was voiced by Angela Gallupo, Lisa Jacqueline, Helena Evangelou, and Molly C. Quinn. The voice of Stella was voiced by Amy Gross, Lisa Adams, and Jennifer Seguin. The voice of Flora was voiced by Holly Frankel, Alejandra Reynoso, and Carrie Williams. The voice of Musa was Anik Matern, Lisa Ortiz, Sarah McLough, and Romy Dames. The voice of Tekna was Morgan Decker, Rebecca Solar, Jodie Restler, Danny Schafel, and Leslie Carls. The voice of Layla, also who became Aisha at some point for no real reason that was explained, just changed her name for fun, was Lucinda Davis, Kiki Palmer, and Vashti Mumpoint. And then finally, Headmistress Farragona was voiced by Larissa Olenek, Rachel Lillis, and Erica Schroeder. So many voices came and went, and that did not help the show whatsoever because, like, you can't do that thing where you associate a voice with a character because it changed every freaking season, man.
Yeah, and in the last episode that we watched for it, like, even the characters' designs had changed. I didn't even know who was who until they said their names.
Yeah, it's, there's a lot to pick apart here, man, and pick I will do. I'm gonna pick like Peter Piper picked his pickled peppers. I don't know how many that is.
I don't think anyone does. Here's a few tasty marshmallows out of our big bowl of Winx cereal. According to the producer of the series, some components of Winx Club, such as transformation and character personalities, and this goes back into what you were talking about earlier, were inspired by Sailor Moon anime. So, of course.
Weird.
Yeah, right when they started transforming, I was like, oh, that's totally a Sailor Moon thing.
Yeah, they did the ribbon, like the light ribbon thing and everything. Like they weren't even subtle, man.
Yeah. It's just straight up, not inspired, just a straight ripoff.
Yeah, they pretty much ripped it off.
There's a total of 9 transformations, and I'm going to name all of them because I hate myself. Magic Winx, Enchantix, Believix, Harmonix, Sirenix, Bloomix, Mythix, Butterflix, and Tynix. And then there's 2 sub-transformations, Sophix and Lovix, and 4 additions to transformations, Charmix, Speedix, Zoomix, and Tracix.
What's that even mean?
Does that all confuse you? Because I feel like this show is just overloaded with junk. Like, there's just so much excess to it.
Was this them trying to go like the Dragon Ball Z route and just like they get more powerful and keep outdoing each other because they're running out of ideas?
Yeah, but Dragon Ball Z kept it simple. Super Saiyan 1. Or just Super Saiyan.
Well,
Super Saiyan 2.
They used to keep it simple.
Super Saiyan 3. Well, now it's a little complicated. Super Saiyan God.
Yeah, now you got like the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or some whatever.
Oh, yeah, but then they even simplify that and just call it Super Saiyan Blue. So it's like,
Well,
it's
that makes
fine.
more sense. Okay.
There's just 9 transformations that all have completely separate names, except with an X at the end of it. That's too much.
One transformation with this show was too much.
Here's something that surprised me. In 2013, the Nickelodeon hiatuses made some of the fans so angry that a letter campaign was started. The same thing happened when season 6 stopped airing in 2014. Some of the unaired episodes were turned into a webisode marathon, and it ultimately took 2 years to finish the season, when most countries had already begun airing season 7. So there were some fans that were so hardcore here in the US that angry fans started a letter campaign to inquire or basically to force the next season of this to come out.
That's insane. Like,
It is insane.
why would they do that to themselves?
Yeah. Why? Where is the? Like I said, I would understand kind of like very little girls who hadn't seen anything better going for this, but anyone who's seen anything other than this show, I don't know why you'd ever go back to this show, or especially why you'd push for it, and especially if you're an adult who's able to write letters to Nickelodeon. Like, why? Why would you do this?
Yeah, if you're at the age where you know how to write letters, this is not the show for you. So, like, let's just plug that right now. The few people I know that have watched this show think it's amazing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I don't understand.
Oh my gosh. And anyone who's listened to episodes of this show, any other episode really, like, I am able to pass a lot of things and be like, okay, you know what? This is why this was, and I can understand and appreciate it because of this. If I put myself in the right mindset, I can get myself there. But this one, I just couldn't do that with. Like, everything about it was making me just so upset because I'm like, why is this considered a quality show? It doesn't even have like a great message to it or anything. Like, there's nothing that it's got going for it that I saw anyway. Maybe we watched just the worst 3 episodes of it, but I can't imagine the way we spread them out that all 3 episodes we watched would have been just bad episodes. I really feel like this is the par of the course for that show.
I wouldn't think so. So, yeah, who knows?
Ugh. Anyway, had you ever heard of this show before we started watching it or before it was mentioned to us or suggested?
I feel like maybe I saw like an action figure or toy or something for this before, just walking through a store. But, I mean, that's about it. No, I didn't really know much about it.
Yeah, it was kind of the same here. Like, I was familiar with the name, and I knew it was like a bright and colorful girly cartoon, but I didn't realize what it was. Like, I didn't know it was like fairies versus witches or anything like that. The guys in there, are they fairies too? Are they magical, or are they just dudes with weapons?
I gotta tell you, dude, I don't know. I really don't know. I got through the first episode and didn't even realize that witches were a part of this yet.
Oh, yeah.
If that tells you anything. So
it's the Winx, and then they're the Tricks, right?
Yeah, they're the Tricks, because
that's appropriate.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because witches do tricks, I guess?
I don't know. But it's all Trix. Everything is like with an X in it.
All I know is the guys are called, they're from the Red Fountain or something.
They're specialists. So let's go ahead and jump into the episodes we watched for today's show. The first episode, highest random episode, flying random listener chosen episode. Order may vary depending on how those episodes fall chronologically, but it goes to the start with the very first episode, which was An Unexpected Event. Season 1, Episode 1, where Bloom becomes involved in a fight between a magical fairy Stella and a gang of trolls headed by Nut the Ogre.
I didn't know his name was Nut. That's funny. Okay.
It's Nut with a K.
Well, never mind.
Yeah.
That made it stupid.
Everything is so basic. It's like they're in this town called Gardenia, and the main girl's name is...
isn't that the like hot peppers that you put on sandwiches?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm thinking of gardenia.
But the
I don't know, but I like those.
But the girl, the main character's name is Bloom, and she's from Gardenia or Gardenia. I don't know. The magical town is called Magix, so it's like it's all very in your face. Even their names are so in your face. So
yeah.
It's just got some Bloom being late for school thing, and from the start you get a sense of how this show's going to be in the way that like the mom is joking that she's late for school. And then it's like, it turns out it's summertime. And she's just like, ha, you fell for it. And that was it. Like,
oh God. Can we just talk about the theme song real quick? And
sure. Like, I don't remember what it was, but yeah, go ahead.
It was awful. It sounded like, I don't know, man. It sounded like a 90s, I'm trying to think how to describe it. It sounded like a pop song that would have been done by a imitation Disney company for like a live action show about a girl who just doesn't fit in. You know, like that's just what brings to mind when I listen to it, and I'm like, oh God.
What I don't get, even from the beginning, is so she's a fairy, supposedly. I'm getting a little bit ahead here, but I was wondering if maybe you had any thoughts on it. Like she's a
She's
fairy.
a closeted fairy.
Yeah, but
She doesn't know she's a fairy.
But it's like, is fairy like a race?
I think this is in like the Harry Potter-ish kind of sense, where it's like kind of like a class more than a race, you know?
That's what it seems like.
Yeah,
But
you know,
then-
it's like she didn't know that she had these powers, but she does, and that makes her a fairy. Just like Harry didn't know that he was a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. But no large hairy man showed up to tell Bloom she was a fairy. Instead, it was another fairy who was just decked out in all kinds of crazy armor.
So the reason I even had that question in the first place was that her parents seem like very normal and basic, but then
Yes.
I read something a little bit later on that was like those aren't her biological parents, because I remember reading that like one episode was like her searching for her parents or something, her biological
good
parents, and I was
Lord.
like, so I wonder if they're actual fairies too, and so that's a whole thing. So it's just more of a mess added on top of it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
All right, so she's supposed to be 16.
Yeah.
Her dad gets her a bike instead of a scooter like all the cool kids have. Oh, she also has a bunny named Kiko who is just constantly screaming and is very annoying.
And actually like functions like a human sometimes, like enough that like he could barricade a door to keep like a troll out and stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty smart for a bunny.
Yeah, well, and that was weird to me, is just like everything was, I don't want to say animated realistically, but like as far as how the characters are drawn, they are pretty grounded. You know, like no eyes bugging out, anything goofy like that. This rabbit is the only character in this entire show that is drawn like a Looney Tunes cartoon. It's very strange.
He's also one of the only animals you really see most of the way through, I think.
It's a good point.
She eventually runs into Stella, the fairy who's all armored out and stuff, who is constantly like saying the moves she's doing, like
Yeah. I wish people would do that in real life. Like, could you imagine how entertaining fights would be if, you know, you left the bar and you see the one guy that's been acting out all night finally bump into the wrong person, and he's like, punch to the face as he's like trying to punch, and the other guy's like, quick block, punch to the nuts, and like hits him in the junk, and that would be fun. I'd get into it. I would love to see the UFC incorporate like self-narration.
So a nut comes forward and he's fighting her. She's like, I don't know, she's saying things like rising sun and stuff like that because she's I guess a sun and moon fairy, and she's fighting these like ghouls. I don't know if they're supposed to be trolls or ghouls or what.
I think they're just like ghouls. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's only like the one troll and there's like one ogre.
Oh,
And
that's
then
right,
they've got
because that one
the-
troll is like the tracker guy.
Yeah. Then they got like, yeah, the nameless minions, which I think are ghouls. It creeped me out. There was several parts of this episode that made me kind of uncomfortable because it's like there's no good way to have a bunch of little demon looking creatures grabbing at a very scantily clad teenage girl. There's just no good way to make that a comfortable thing to watch.
See, that's another thing too. Like, if this had variety and diversity in it, and it does as far as like race goes, I suppose, but body type, everyone is like rail thin, and all the guys
Yeah.
are super fit. So I don't even think this would send a positive message as far as like a self-image goes.
Not really. And in fact, like they are drawn with such like, I don't know. If you see any of the images of them, most of their knees point sideways, and that's just an unrealistic expectation for girls, you know? I don't think that's very fair. Like even on the cover art for stuff, like you can see some of their knees go like completely sideways instead. It's weird. Their legs look like the Black Widow symbol or something.
There's one point where the ogre Nut, I think, like he's about to fight them, and he's like, "If I were you, I'd get ready to lick my wounds."
He also like rips and sniffs her pant leg. That was weird.
Oh, that's right. Well, and he gives
I
it
don't like
to
that.
that hunting troll to sniff her out.
I don't think in any instance do I want to see things sniffing teenage girls' clothing. I don't know, man. There's just something about it that bugs me, and it's creepy, man. It's just creepy.
The whole show is pretty much like that. Okay, so I'm not going to go into all of it, but what's her face? Stella, she is like, hey, you should come to the Althea Castle, which is very similar to Altea from Voltron, but she takes her there through a bottomless postcard. And I was like, why? What is all this? Why is this happening? And
well, how else are you going to travel?
Well, I guess you're right. You got a point.
You can't just summon a portal, of magic. You got to jump into a magic postcard.
And something that bugged me was her parents are like completely, well, okay, so the mom's talking to him. She's like, Mike, if this is Bloom's true nature, who are we to hold her back? He agrees, like, all right, fine. But then when she actually decides to go, they're like, all right, we're coming with you. And it's like, man, what kind of parents are these? Come on.
Yeah.
Even Stella says you're not even technically allowed to come, but they're like, we'll make an exception. Our rules are made to be broken.
They're being helicopter parents.
Yeah. Ugh. It's no wonder she went on search for her biological parents.
We get to see the troll, the tracking troll, like you talked about, who they drew with very large and pierced nipples, which was
oh yeah,
just added to the like weird uncomfortableness of this show. I was like, ew, man. Like, I mean, no offense to people with nipple piercings, but like, I don't want to see it on a troll. There's so many questionable things here.
So you got the specialist, the group of guys who comes in. I don't know if they have powers or not. They just have like powered weapons.
I love the names. I love how two of the names are very like fantasy and the other two are just totally normal. So you got Riven and Prince Sky, but then you got Timmy and Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon, Prince Sky's squire.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's two things that keep happening throughout this show. Well, one of them happens through the whole show. The other one, it definitely happened in the next episode, but the last one we watched, it didn't. That one is that the audio editing is terrible, and that like as the split second a character finishes a sentence, another character is talking. There is literally no pause in between whatsoever to digest what was said, and because of that too, it feels like the plot is moving extremely fast, even though it seems like nothing has really happened. It's a weird like situation, but yeah, like the audio editing was awful on this. Another thing that bugged me that came up, I think in every episode, was somebody would do something and either they or somebody else would be like, wow, glad you learned that back in like whatever year this happened. Like Timmy like shoots the troll or something or defeats the troll. And someone's like, good thing you aced how to battle forest creatures, Timmy. There's just something in every episode that comes up. And I'm like, can you not come up with new things to write? Good God.
Yeah, it's a good thing you passed a class on exactly what you just did.
Yeah.
Lucky us. Well, the next episode we watched for today's show was One Last Fluttering of Wings, Season 3, Episode 13. This was the highest rated episode. And the Winx must stop the destruction of Andros, and one of them will ultimately have to make a supreme sacrifice to do it. The reason I was pausing there was because Andros, yeah, Star Fox. And maybe it's Andros. Either way, so they changed the theme song in this one. In this one, it's like, we are the Winx, come join the club. I think it was a different theme song in every season.
We are the Winx, we are the Winx.
This place, as far as I gathered, was called Tides, which was the planet that one of them was from. Layla?
Yeah, I think Layla. Was she Aisha at this point, or was she still Layla?
She was Layla at this point.
Okay.
And yeah. It's getting sucked into the Omega dimension, which is, I guess, like the negative zone or something. And then you see all these like Masters of the Universe type monsters pop up, breaking free from these crystal like encasements they're in. Like not even like good Masters of the Universe monsters. It's just like the bargain bin ones that nobody wanted. They all look pretty dumb. We also got to meet in this episode more of the girls than we did in the first one. So we've got Tekna, who is like
the dumbest thing ever. Oh, she's the fairy of technology.
Yeah, technology fairy. That's what it was.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
You know what though? Like out of all of them, I liked her the best.
Well, me too, and that's what's sad.
It is. That is like
that's what I'm depressed about. Is that it's like maybe the dumbest thing you could come up with, but she was the best.
Yeah, which goes to show how bad the rest of them were. Like I felt bad for myself for liking her so much more than the other ones.
Yeah,
because in there's like a punk rock girl who's like the musical fairy. Musa. Yeah, I would assume so since
fairy of music.
Right. They all have it's almost like they chose these girls specifically because of their names. And then they're like, by the way, you're a fairy. Hey, like, come with us.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, her name's Tekna. Let's make sure she's the fairy of technology.
Yeah.
Because otherwise her name would be dumb. So just like Flora is the fairy of nature.
Of course.
I don't understand. Well, Stella's the fairy of the shining sun, not just the sun. The shining sun, Joseph. I don't get the Layla / Aisha thing. She announces herself at some point as the fairy of waves, which is extremely specific. It's not the fairy of the seas or ocean.
Not just water, but waves, only waves.
And then Bloom is the fairy of the dragon flame.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So on this planet, on Layla's planet, you've got mermaids who have been turned evil by the evil wizard guy. What was his name?
Dude, I don't know. Like, I just know that there was a main bad guy, and of course they made him a very pretty looking man.
Oh, you know what he reminded me of? He reminded me of like someone from Castlevania, like almost like...
Yes, he does look like that.
Oh, Beltor was his name.
Sounds like a name for a bad guy that's good looking. Beltor. My name's Beltor.
Like you see the tricks in this episode too. It's so funny that they're called the tricks. The witches, the evil witches, who are the primary adversaries of the Winx girls. They're kind of at odds with Beltor because he's saying like, you know, they want to destroy this Tide's planet or whatever, but they're like, whoa, but what about all our partners or all our associates who are there? And she's like, oh, we don't need them anymore after, I've got all the artifacts. I already took all the stuff that I need from there, so we don't need them anymore. So they can just die with the planet.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of puts them at odds a little bit. They don't really do anything about it, but they're kind of at odds.
All the voice acting in this is awful. Especially like all of Layla's parents or like her family and the guards and stuff. They're all terrible.
Her dad was the worst voice actor.
Yeah, it was some of the worst lines I've ever heard in a cartoon.
It wasn't just the lines, it was the delivery.
You could tell the only person in this entire episode that knew voice acting was whoever was voicing that guy T-Bach the Wise.
And he was a good wizard. Unfortunately, he was part of the triad of wizards that built the Omega portal because it was some kind of prison. Again, like the Negative Zone. Basically, Beltor corrupted it in some way and had it start engulfing the Tide's planet.
Here's another example of... well, first of all, I need to establish, for whatever reason, the mermaids have wings. Like, it's not enough that they can swim through water real quick with their, mermaid tails. They also have wings and can fly.
I was wondering if they were mermaid fairies. Like, is everything a fairy here? I'm just not sure.
I don't know. It seemed like overkill. But the ones that got turned evil were attacking, and I think maybe it was Stella or something, had like a light rope thing that kind of looks like Wonder Woman's lasso, and she like lassoed one of them, and of course goes, "Good thing I went to rodeo camp."
Oh, like, yeah. Oh. I remember that.
I liked Flora's very specific move that she said, "Ivy rescue vine." That's the vine she uses specifically for rescues.
Good thing she practiced that, yeah.
Good thing I know what vines are.
T-Bach, like, he brings this scroll out that's supposed to, like, it's supposed to help close this portal, but then it gets sucked into the portal, so they're like, uh-oh, like, that's it.
Oops.
And the funnel's growing stronger, and he's just like, everybody has to leave the planet right away, like, immediately. Bloom is going to go close the gate from the inside, but they're like, no, you'll be trapped there forever. And I'm like, good, like, let her go. Send her off.
Yeah, if you could kill any of these characters, just, take one. Go ahead.
Yeah, but then they send the best character of all, who is Tekna.
Yeah.
Like, she goes into the portal and takes on some kind of new transformation. I don't know. They didn't call it anything, I don't think, but...
Well, all that happened was her hair grew longer and she got wings.
Yeah, because before she had some kind
it.
of, like, kite type thing that she was flying on.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
she also has a British accent or something. But in the next episode we see her, she does not have an accent.
They all have some kind of fairy dust too, and she like forces her way in by using this fairy dust because of course she is able to close the portal from the inside, and they're just like, oh no, like what can we do? And T-Bach's just like, I don't know, nothing we can do for her. It's her destiny.
Yeah. I love that part because that was really funny. I laughed because they're like, we have to get her out, and T-Bach's just basically like, nah, it's not even worth it. Just,
yeah, this is her destiny. Just let her live her destiny.
Yeah, let her be. Come on, just let her be dead.
Yeah.
And then the best voice acting ever, the crying where wasn't Muso, was just like, Tekna, can you hear me? And you're just like, God,
yeah.
I wanted to... Does ripping my own ears off, does that stop me from hearing, or do I have to dig into the skull to get the pieces out?
Pretty sure you got to dig in.
Okay, because I was about ready to do one of those two.
This was the highest rated episode, if you believe it.
This is the best episode.
The best episode according to the 5 people who watch this show religiously, I guess.
Good thing you know how to watch shows.
So the last episode we watched for today's show was Zombie Invasion, Season 6, Episode 16. And I chose this one because, of course, it has zombies in it, so it sounded like it would be cool. It wasn't. A ship full of zombie pirates battle the Winx and the Tricks, both of whom must exit the Legendarium quickly or become forever trapped there as characters within the book. Now, this sounds like that would be a whole episode-long thing, and, like, it would be interesting. But that is maybe the first 5 minutes of it, and then it becomes mainly about coconut milk.
It's a good point. And so when this episode started, I thought, oh, thank God. Oh, finally, because the intro, the animation was way different. It looked fairly good. The animation quality, I mean, not going with the character designs. The quality looked good. The sound sounded much better. The song, like everything looks like it got a total facelift. And I'm like, oh, thank God. This is great. And then it starts and it's like reboot style computer graphics. And I was like, what? What happened?
It's better than Reboot, but it's still not
Yeah, but not
great.
by much.
Yeah. And I'm not saying better than Reboot in any sense other than it looked better than Reboot because Reboot was done when CG like was first being used for shows. So definitely not a knock against Reboot at all.
And like, thankfully, I mean, it kind of turned out that I guess this was something that carried over from the previous episode and they were like living in like a story or something. And that's why it did the weird animation, and that animation changed back to what the intro was basically. But it really did throw me for a loop at first. And it was, the animation of that was awful. Like the fighting was super slow. The movements were all slow. It was terrible.
They're aboard the Occulta, which is the boat, which I thought that was a pretty cool name. There's a lot of cool ideas, especially in this episode, that just don't pay off at all, and they don't take advantage of. So it is CG for the first, 5 minutes or so when they're in this Legendarium book, and then they have to leave it or else they'll be trapped there forever. The fairies are able to get this emerald that they needed in order to make this Legendarium key, I think, which I don't know what they're using it for, but they need this key, and that's one of the parts of it was in this book. The majority of the episode, I believe, is focused on when we get back to the island, you've got the guys, the specialists, and all they're doing is just relaxing. And they're like, there's one who has to remain the employee of this like coconut milk shop. And they're like, you make the best coconut milk. And then later we see all he does is like karate chop the top off the coconut and just put a straw in it. That's not making anything. You're just giving them access to milk.
Must be the dirt on his hands that adds the flavor.
Something.
Because he makes it the best.
The best.
Yeah, a good chunk of this episode is just flirting on a beach.
Yeah, it's very clear that all of these guys are just there to be romantic interest of all of these girls.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if any of the girls were not swooning over somebody. Like, none of them could just be like, I'm independent and I don't need a man. They're all just like, I need a man. Oh, it's so romantic. They're all just like that. It's like, it's the worst stereotypes you can think of, all compounded into one show.
Yeah, and then they had like Musa, who can do stuff with music, was like, when one of the boy or girl characters would get near each other, she would start playing romantic music out of thin air. I was like, come on.
I will say, well, they did luckily bring Tekna back, and she looks cooler now. Like, I liked her style even better in this one. So this is what solidified my liking of her character. I don't think she had anybody. I don't think she was like swooning after anyone. So maybe she's the one that I was able to see most as a real person, as opposed to the rest who were just very copy paste from storybooks or whatever.
Yeah. And I'll give her this too. Like, as much as I think the idea of like a magic version of technology is kind of stupid, like having a fairy of technology, her wings were designed really cool.
Yeah.
They're like that pixelated kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I liked her design a lot. And I agree with you. Like, technology fairy sounds really dumb, and I shouldn't like it, but I do.
Yeah, I don't like the concept, but I like the look.
Yeah, exactly. The design's great.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one I can say that for in this whole show. Like, her design is spot on, and I like it.
Yeah, you know what? The other designs, like, what's weird is, I don't know, man. I feel like they tried to give the others a little bit more standoutish, I don't know, outfits and personality or something. But whereas some of the other characters stood out a little bit more to me than they used to, like Tekna and Musa. I didn't even realize Musa was around in the other two episodes we watched, and I think she was. But in this one, it's like Bloom kind of faded into the background. I couldn't even tell like which character was Bloom for a while. And then even once I did, it was just, she was so easily forgettable. Like, and that was like their main character.
Yeah, I don't know if like they just really like put her back as far as ranking of important characters go, but she really didn't stand out.
She got the Cyclops treatment there.
Yeah. Okay, here's a question I had, and I guess it's like, so they got that emerald from the boat, the Winx Club did, but then the Tricks, the witches, they just summon these zombies into reality. And I guess they were after the emerald too, so why couldn't they have just summoned them into reality, taken the emerald at that point, and then just got rid of them? Like, if they had that ability to do that, why did they go this long route? I don't get it.
I got to tell you, Joseph, because poor writing. That would be the reason.
Well, it's like, it's cool. Like, okay, zombie pirates, that's fine. Like, I'm kind of done with pirate stuff. Just it's oversaturated for me, but it's fine. Like, it could have been fine, but they weren't even able to make that fun because they get such a small part of the episode where they're brought in to terrorize this town. And then ultimately, I guess they just keep kind of respawning as zombies do or whatever they're doing. There's just a mass amount of them. So the fairies can't fight them fast enough or kill them off fast enough. So they have to, Bloom uses this power called the Friendship Flame. And that gives everybody powers, or everybody temporary powers. Like, they have wings and they can shoot zombies too. So it's like, let's all just work together. It's like, if you had this power, like, why not do it all the time? Why not just like storm the Tricks castle with your entire village and destroy them with the Friendship Flame?
It's so stupid. Yeah, like, she basically gives everybody on that island the ability to fly and use magic. And it's like, what? Yeah, you could have stopped this so long ago. It doesn't make any sense, man.
And if it sounds like we fast forwarded through that episode a little bit, we didn't. Like, we mentioned everything that happens. It's just so much of it was taken up by that stupid coconut milk gag. that you didn't have room for anything else.
Yeah, and then after that battle is over, I mean, it just goes back to more flirting on the beach until the episode ends. Like, it's still like a good 2 to 3 minutes of more flirting and goofing off. And I'm like, oh, I get it. You're teenagers. I get it. You're interested in boys. Like, God.
The only part that intrigued me a little bit, but I'm not going to fall into this trap, is the end of the episode when it shows what's happening in the next episode. There's this town they're going to called Fearwood, and it's linked to a terrible curse, and it shows a silhouette of a werewolf. And I love werewolves, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to fall into that trap because I know it's going to be dumb, and it's going to be about coconut milk, and I don't want to watch it.
It's going to be about werewolf milk. Yeah, they're trying to trick you, man. They're seducing you using their feminine werewolf wiles.
They almost got me, but no, I didn't watch it. I didn't look.
There is one thing I liked and one thing I really didn't like about this episode. Well, I mean, there's lots of things I didn't like. But the one thing I did kind of like was one of the zombies at one point was like, I'm getting sick of these butterfly ladies. And I just wanted to be like, me too, bro. Something I didn't like in this whole show was, I mean, okay, so we know the joke about fairies, you know, that can be a term to refer to homosexual people.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, some of them embrace it because it's just kind of a funny sounding word anyway. And they're like, yeah, fine. But knowing that, it kind of rubs me wrong when some of the characters in this, like, still call these character fairies, even though that's kind of like, you know, what they are, but in a really condescending way. Like when one of the zombies is just like, what are you gonna do about it, fairies? And I'm like, oh, dude, oh, come on. Like, the people making this show, I feel like you could probably know better by now that maybe that would, you know, not reflect great in some areas, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I could kind of see that. But I really don't think anybody is watching this show enough to care.
Right.
So
Let's
it's
hope
like,
not.
let them do their thing, even though it's the wrong thing. Let them do it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. You know, and it's just the thing that goes along with the weird kind of creepy pedophilia vibe I got from that first episode with people sniffing this young girl's clothes and grabbing all over her when she's not wearing a lot of clothes. I'm just like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of red flags in this thing that I'm like, who are the people that are writing this exactly?
And we're getting a redubbed version of it, so there's no telling what the original Italian one's like.
Yeah, it might have been really gross.
Well, Chris, looks like it's about time we send our inner kids off to the world of magics to date fairy girls and train to be cute boy specialist. Then tell us what they thought of the Winx Club.
This show is just a bunch of flirty fairy girls using friendship and magic to defeat their enemies, which is stupid. It made me wish I didn't like girls. So I gave this show one bowl of good thing I know how to eat cereal out of 5. Forget the winks. I'm joining the tricks.
I feel as if I should start by saying that I have absolutely nothing against cartoons aimed at girls, and generally speaking, am a big fan of cute things. With that said, I feel like girls deserve better than what this cartoon offers. The idea has the potential to be interesting, since Monster High basically does something similar except with monsters in place of fairies, but it's so clouded by intentionally stereotypical one-note characters and uninspired voice acting that all the potential fails to shine through. Like, why did an episode called Zombie Invasion that had pirate zombies spend so much of its airtime focused on stupid coconut milk? And I actually like coconut milk, but that episode made me consider never touching it again. Overall, I'd give Winx Club 1.5 big bowls of Techna is the best fairy, and if you don't agree, fight me cereal out of 5, and I really recommend you not subject yourself or your children to this show. And I realize I'm supposed to close with a joke, but I've got nothing. How about this show has such a cult following that it has 3 animated movies, a live action one on its way, and is now going into its 8th season, while some immensely better shows are canceled after 1 season. How's that for a joke?
Wait, there's actually going to be a live action version of this?
Yeah, there's a live action version of this in the works.
Oh, why? Like, who are they making this for? What rich person with horrible taste is throwing money at these people? Is this like going to be a major motion picture, or is this
I
like
hope not. it'll be like a straight to DVD, not even Blu-ray, like straight to DVD release, straight to VHS release.
Oh, let's hope so. Jeez.
Now, with all the money going into this, it's probably going to be 4K Ultra HD or something.
So we can be miserable in 4K HDness or whatever the heck it is now.
Yeah.
So do you have any closing comments on this show?
I mean, not a lot more than what I had said already. I just feel like there's so many better shows out there. You know what? If you like this show, fine. Please, if you're listening to this and you do like this show, tell me why. Like, tell me what there's to like about it. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's like a really deep meaning that I'm not getting, because whatever it was, it just went right over my head. There's a lot of shows that we watch, and there are some that aren't great, but I still find something to like about them. But this one, the only thing is Tekna, and only really because she's designed so well. Other than that, like, nothing is appealing about this show. Like, I can understand why little girls like would be like, oh, it's cool to be like fairies or magical fairies and witches and whatever. But at the same time, it's like you could find that in other places done way better. This is one of those mysteries of life that I don't think I'll ever understand. If I never see another episode of this, it'll be too soon.
Yeah, I agree. This felt awful. It really did. And, and like you, I don't say it just because it couldn't hold my interest, because plenty of shows that have similar themes and vibes have. I mean, we've mentioned Sailor Moon, Monster High, Totally Spies. Ended up loving all three of those. This was just garbage. And even from a technical standpoint, like the plot and the audio editing moved way too fast. And it wasn't just like that first episode in season 1, because 3 seasons later, the show still had the exact same problems. Like, they didn't even learn from the issues that they had. There's so many characters that, I don't know, you can't, when you keep adding characters like that, you can't get them to stand out anymore. And like we said, like, when you get into season 6, I feel like season 6 definitely was better. It was better quality. It still wasn't very enjoyable. And the one character I felt that was very fleshed out ended up being less fleshed out. And that just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like a backwards progression with the main character of the dang show. It felt like a show that knew some vague ideas of what it wanted to be, but they did not follow through well, if at all. And yeah, I don't recommend this, and I would never want to watch any more of it.
Yeah, it's like not only did they overcomplicate it by adding all these tertiary characters, but also just all those terms and phrases you have to remember. Like I said, there's 9 different transformations, other sub-transformations, and then transformation like bonuses you can get. There's just so much going on. It's almost like, and I don't know what the toy lines of this are like or anything, but it really feels like, more than any other show we've ever watched, feels like it's being made to sell toys.
Oh yeah, I definitely got that vibe quick.
But I don't even know if that's what it initially was. Like, I think this is, unlike some other shows, this is a show first and toys later, which surprises me because this feels more artificial than any other show that we've ever watched. And that is just shocking to me.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, I feel like maybe initially it started as the show first, but I feel like at this point, yeah, it's progressed specifically to line the shelves.
If I had a kid, they would definitely not get anywhere near this show.
Like, you'd like allow them to watch MTV and stuff, but Winx Club is off limits. Like, you will get punished if we find you watching this show.
They can watch all the horror movies they want, whatever, rated R, I don't care, but you stay away from Winx Club. That's the no-no.
You get out of there.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So, Tommy, if you like this show, please let us know why. And if you did this just to be cruel to us and see what we thought of it, then that's not very funny, Tommy. Shame on you.
Yeah, like you, mission accomplished, buddy.
Yeah. It hurt.
My life hurts.
Yeah. Well, listeners, it looks like a milk supply is now on drive, so it's time for us to say goodbye. Next week, we'll be watching
Pinky and the Brain, suggested by Mark via YouTube.
Oh, nice. Okay, see, I love Pinky and the Brain. I already know that.
Yes.
So this is going to be good.
This is our redemption. This is our comeback.
This was a bad show, a really bad show sandwiched between two really great shows. You've got Pinky and the Brain on the end of it, and then at the beginning you had the Gundam Wing, which was
Gundam
awesome.
Wing, yeah. And that's the most disappointing sandwich of all.
Once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
We'll see you next Saturday.
Presented by Nerdsloth.
A place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.